Encounter is brought to you by the Broome County Council of Churches.
Good morning. My name is Kelly Devine. So glad you could join us for Encounter. I am here this morning with three gentlemen who are going to tell us a little bit about an event coming up in July. We have with us today Mr. David Cooke, Mr. Karl Silfee, and Mr. Ken Pickard. Welcome, gentlemen. Thank you for joining us. I will go through and perhaps you guys can tell me a little bit about yourselves. We could start with David.
In regards to the Spiritfest, I'm one of the people that take in some of the ministries that we have at the Spiritfest. Usually they're ministries that help within the community, organize, and also one of the band's members that's playing there this year.
Okay. How about you, Karl?
Oh, I'm a pastor of a local church in Coventry, True Life Christian Church, and God has blessed me with a piece of property, 52 acres in Coventry, that we want to use for events like this to bring honor and glory to and draw the community together, and also a roofing contractor. So.
Okay, keeps you busy. How about you, Ken?
I'm the music ministry leader. Also, I MC the event of Spiritfest, and we've been tied in with the organization since our band first got into the playing at the event.
Okay. Well, I don't know who wants to take the first question here, but what is Spiritfest?
Karl, I'm gonna let you take
Well, it's a way to bring the community together for a cause and to lift up Jesus Christ and celebrate. It's a worship event. There's music and there's different ministries that are coming in and sharing their ministries. We probably have about 20 ministries setting up tables, and it's a way the fire department's involved, the whole community to get together. This year we're raising funds to put a roof on the Methodist Church in Coventry. That's what our goal is this year.
Okay, so where does all of your funding come from? I'm assuming this is a free event for anybody to come to.
Yes, it is, and our funding comes from people that, last year we had TLC, and we have the Plumbing Tree Crafts, Boy Scout Troop 316, Solid Rock Youth. We have sponsors that sponsor people who believe in what we're doing and want to show one spirit and one community and worship and do things together and have a good time.
Okay, well, sounds like a good time. Well, maybe how long has Spiritfest been going on? Is it a new thing, or?
It's technically we're in our third year, and God's been growing it every year. There was a year prior to that where it was not really founded and organized, but Karl had actually donated the property to God.
Right. The very first one was a 12-year-old boy had terminal cancer, and we were doing a benefit, and then the bands came in and we did this, and then it just like was birthed with that, saying we should do this all the time. We should do this every year at least,
So every year, this will be actually your fourth one?
Yes.
Now every year, has it grown and grown?
Yes.
Okay, so maybe you can give me some numbers. When we're talking about it growing, do you have any idea?
Well, I think our first year that Three Crosses Bear Band played there, we had about 50, 60 people.
Okay.
The following year we went to 150, 200, and last year we had probably around 300 to 350.
Oh, that's awesome.
And,
you're on your way up.
Yes, and as the gentleman said, it's about the community. We want to make it a free event so they can come and enjoy without having to worry about a lot. And getting the sponsors to come alongside of us and join with us to do this, and we just want to share it with everybody. And God's given us the hands and feet, so we're going to try and do the work.
Okay.
And it's open to everyone. It's not just even though we're Christians. It's open to everyone.
Yep.
Everybody's welcome.
Awesome.
We just want to be having a good time. So.
Okay, so you have probably you have music, obviously, because two of you belong to a band. Yes.
Yes, we have. Last year we had I think it was 5 or 6 bands.
5.
Some are solo artists. Some are larger bands. And then we had a drama as well.
The mimes. Yep.
Yeah, some mimes going on there. So a lot's placed into the entertainment. We do have a way of getting a hold of Kenny Pickard if you want to be a band and play there some year.
Okay.
The fire department did a hose demonstration. They did tear a car apart and how they rescue people out of the car. And what was that thing they did? They actually had some type of competition with the hoses or something. It was a lot of fun.
Entertaining.
Yes.
Water fights or target fights with the actual line hoses that they use.
Nice.
So.
Okay, so you have a lot of activities that go on that day, and you were talking earlier about them. You're bringing people in that have ministries that can be a benefit to someone who's going, so you can enjoy the entertainment and in the same tent.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah, right in the surrounding area. It's
What kind of ministries? I mean, maybe you can give me a little cross section.
We have a big top tent. It's placed on the land, and it's 60 by about 140 long. And so we surround ministries around this tent so that everyone inside the tent enjoying the entertainment and the music can also stop by each and every one of these ministry tables. And most of the ministry tables are outreach to the community. So some of the ones we've had in the past, Catholic Charities of Shenango County, the Verde View Equestrian Center. It's a horse ranch that takes youth, whether they're disabled, handicapped, or just whatever, and builds a relationship between the rider and the horse in a therapeutic way. And so that's one of the ministries that were there. The Rescue Mission Center was one of them last year. Path of Life, Rock Solid Youth Group. The Impact Project, which goes into the community, and if you're qualified financially and medically, it doesn't always have to be a medical issue or whatever, but they go into the community, and if if you need a wheelchair ramp, if you need a roof, if you need a concrete pad to get the wheelchair on, if you're just financially not able, they come in and in a weekend, if you qualify, and build what you have a need for. So they're really being the hands and feet of God as well.
Nice. So I imagine the ministries that are there are not only there to reach out and to provide, but I imagine there are places to volunteer as well. If some of them are always looking for volunteers.
There definitely is. Even with the ministries, it's provided. Moms Next was one of the ministries as well, and we're always looking for new ministries because we like to fill that up, and it provides a vehicle. The festival does for the community to find out and find
to see what's out there.
Yeah, to find
where
these
they can
resources.
serve. Yeah.
And even if they don't need the resource, that they can volunteer their time with that ministry.
So they would contact you. I'm going to put up all your contact information. But are you the ministries guy?
I am the ministry outreach coordinator. So they would contact me.
Alrighty. So. If you're going to tell people why you should get involved in something like this, why should you volunteer? Any one of our listeners, what would you tell them?
To really just be a servant and have a servant's heart has something. It just gives you a sense of worth within inside you. But more so that there are more people out there than you really realize that really need the help. And if you came to one of the festivals one of the years, you would find out that there are. I mean, we try to keep this totally free, and that's difficult to do. Some of the things we'll get in later on that we're offering this year that's fun to do there.
Okay.
It's pretty impressive. So I would say would definitely expand you as a person.
Okay. Karl, what do you think? Why would you tell people to get involved?
Well, because it's more blessed to give than to receive.
Amen.
There's the scriptural. And Jesus said, if I be lifted up, I'll draw all men to me. So it's got a ministry. We are going to present, there's one in the Spirit is kind of our phrase. There's one church, one Bible, one Spirit. We get together in a field and just all worship and praise and share our experiences and benefits. The people don't know that these ministries are out there, so I think it's a win-win for everybody.
Okay. Ken, you got anything to add?
Just that I mean, it's crazy how it works because you come in with an attitude to serve, and sometimes you walk away with more than you give.
Yeah, amen.
That's the thing, and just showing that you're not the only one that may be having troubles. You may not be the only one that is having a situation go on in your family life or at home. Come there, get a chance maybe to get away from that for a little while. serve other people, and like I said, you turn around and walk away with more than you
it lifts you
than
up.
you give. Yeah.
Awesome.
So
Well, I'm going to say a little bit about the actual where and when of this. We've got the Spiritfest, July 13th from 4 to 9 p.m., right? So it's an evening thing. We are at, I have the address of 1403 State Highway 235 in Harpersville.
Right.
And on the screen there, we have actually your website, which will give you more directions, I'm sure. It's which is THEE, spiritfest.com. And they can go there and get all kinds of information on how to actually get involved. On the screen here, I also have numbers. If someone wants to volunteer in any way, shape, or form, or they have a band, or they have, they're interested in the children's area or being one of the ministries. We've got phone numbers here. We have David Cooke, who is, he does a whole bunch of things here, ministries and what else, Dave? What do you do?
Organize. We have to direct where they set up, and the kind of cool thing is the space is sponsored for that individual, so we supply and set up the power.
Okay, so they can reach you at 607-624-3942. That's David.
Yep.
Ken, you're in charge of bands.
yeah, the music ministry. Getting them involved with the music part of it, where they set up, what we need to supply for them, and also line them up with our sound guy. So
and what if it's not music? If it's some other sort of entertainment, you would be open maybe to that, to chat with them?
Definitely, because we have the minds. So they come and they do 2, 3, 4-minute skits with no talking.
Okay, so you can be reached at 607-316-9582?
Correct.
All right. And we have to line up volunteers. I imagine this takes a lot to put on, to set up, to tear down, and all that?
It does. It's
okay, so we have Gail Silfee.
Yep, that's my wife.
All right, and Gail would be reached at 607-656-7619. Then I have the children's area, which, can you tell me a little bit about that?
Well, the children's area has a separate its own little tent off in the main tent, and that area is set up with games and prizes. And actually, Ken's daughter, Nicole Pickard, will be running that this year, and she's always looking for volunteers as well.
Awesome.
So, and there's a few other little smaller tents among that, but that children area is pretty big. We tried to make that as fun as possible. This year we have a clown and face painting going on that's moving within the crowd,
and anything inside that tent is free for the kids to come and play.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And it's a lot of little things that we like to let them do. I think we have also signed on horse pony rides.
Yeah, there's going to be horseback rides this year, and
Horse pony
a
rides,
pony,
yeah.
either drawn cart or pony rides. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you
Yeah,
got to
the
keep
balloon-
kids
balloon
entertained
fisher.
so the adults can stay. You don't
Yeah.
want them to get all funned out too early.
That's right.
So Nicole can be reached. I have 607-237-3276.
Correct.
All right. So